Alright, so let's try another example here. Okay, again, we want to solve for the system. Okay, and just like before, what I want to do is look for the equation that already has the variable solved. So notice right here, y is already by itself. So what I'm going to do is take this part and substitute it here for this y. Okay, so essentially it's like this, where I take this piece here and I plug it in there. Okay, so I take this and plug it in here. So what I'm going to do is rewrite it again. So I'm going to rewrite this top one right here, 2x minus 3. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and put a parenthesis here. And I'm going to plug in x minus 1 is equal to negative 1. Let me make sure I wrote down the same thing. Okay, I did. Okay, super. Okay, so now we have that there. And again, if I scan this here, notice that I see x's here. And since they're already on the left side, I'm just going to keep them there. So I'm going to put the x's on the left, the numbers on the right. So notice I'm using the same strategies as before. Just keep in mind, you want to keep also your strategies that you learned in Mathy as well. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and rewrite this. So I'll have 2x minus 3 times x minus 1 is equal to negative 1. Alright, so just like in Mathy, what you want to do is get rid of this parenthesis first by using the distributive property. So essentially what I'm doing is taking this negative 3 here and distributing it to the inside. Okay, so if I do that, okay, the beginning part right here, this positive 2x, I'm just going to rewrite it. And then I go ahead and go negative 3 times x. And remember, there's an invisible 1 here, so it's technically 1x. It's going to give you negative 3x. And then I multiply negative 3 times negative 1. And that gives me a positive 3, so I put plus 3 is equal to, let me change color here, hold on, is equal to negative 1. Alright, and then I notice that there's like terms right here. Notice these are like terms right here. So if I combine those, 2x minus 3x, that's a war, and the negative team won by 1 point, so I get negative 1x. Okay, and then I'm going to bring down the plus 3 is equal to negative 1. Alright, now it has turned into a two-step equation. So again, I want to move this term over to the other side because again, I want to have the x's on the left, the numbers on the right. So what I'm going to do is do the opposite of addition, which is subtraction, because that'll make it a 0. And whatever I do to the one side of the equation, I must do it to the other side, just like that here. All right, so what happens here is that this makes a giant 0. So that's gone, and I'm just left with that negative 1x, and then it equals 2. And then I combine these two right here. Okay, so notice that it's a party, and it's a negative party, and negative 4 got together. Alright, and I'm still not done because see, x is not by itself, it has that negative 1 hanging around. So what I'm going to do is the opposite of multiplication, which is division. I'm going to divide by a negative 1. That way I get a positive 1x on the left because it makes a giant 1 here. And then 4 divided by 1 is 4. But a negative divided by a negative is a positive, so I have a positive 4. Okay, and just like on the previous problem, you want your ordered pair to be your solution. So you have the x value, which is 4, but the problem is we don't know what the y value is, so that's our question mark. We don't know what that is. So what I'm going to do is figure it out. And again, you could plug in the x either on the first equation or on the second equation. So what I'm going to do, just for convenience sake, I'm going to plug it into the second equation here. Okay, and what I could do is plug in the 4 right there. Now it's a little bit easier, so what I'm going to do is go here, and I'm going to say, pardon me, let x equal, what was it, 4. Now you could plug it in here if you like. It just requires more work. So I'm going to just plug it in there. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to take this right here. So this is the one I'm choosing, right? This one right here. So I'm going to rewrite this right here in the bottom, right there in green. I'll put it over here. So I'll say y is equal to, and then instead of x, I'll put parenthesis, minus 1. And I'm going to replace the x with a 4. Because again, I'm taking this and I'm plugging it in here. So that's how it looks. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. So I have y is equal to. Now there's nothing to do with the parentheses. So I'm just going to bring the 4 down. So I'll put 4 minus 1. And then 4 minus 1 is going to be 3. So it equals 3. So you see it's a lot easier that way. Now I have my ordered pair. Okay. I have my y, which is 3, and I have my x, which is 4. Now to check our solutions. So what I'm going to do is use Desmos. So I'm going to delete these two here. Now I have 2x minus 3y is equal to, and I forgot what it was, -1. So I put -1. Then I have the other one, y equals x minus 1. So I put here y equals x minus 1. All right. And then if we look at the intersecting points, notice it's 4, 3. So we got our solution 4, 3. So again, upload a picture of your work right here and then take a screenshot. Make sure this is visible and submit it here.